As we are at page 18. Okay, page 18. Okay, last headword was applicant, newer type of lesson. Okay, so let's start with our revision. Ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. First question. Which department of a company have the most direct contact with consumers? Which
Consumers.
department of a company have the most direct contact with consumers? The sales,
The sales,
customer services,
customer
and
services,
marketing
and the
departments
marketing
have the
department
most direct
have the
contact
most direct
with
contact with
consumers.
the consumers.
Right? And in a large business like a bank, for example, which of those three departments is most likely to be based in a call center?
Call
And in a
center.
large business like a bank, for example, which of those three departments is most likely to be based in a call center? In a large business
In a
like
large
a
business,
bank, for
like a
example,
bank, for
the
example,
customer
the
services
customer
department
services
is
department
most likely
is
to be
most
based in
likely
a
to
call
be based
center.
in a call center.
Very good. Do you believe that your current government has a good strategy for helping people who are out of work?
Or at
Do you
work.
believe that your current government has a good strategy for helping people who are out of work?
Or at
Yes or
work.
no?
Yes,
I believe that
I
my
believe that
current government
my current
has a
government
good
has a
strategy
good
for
strategy
helping people
for helping
who are
people
out of work.
who are out of work.
Right, if a person's main concern were job security, would you suggest that they look for work in the public sector or the private sector? If a person's main concern were job security, would you suggest that they look for work in the public sector or the private sector? If a person's
If a
main
person's
concern
main
were job
concerns for
security,
job
I
security,
suggest
I
that they look
suggest
for work
that they look
in the
for
work
work in
mhm,
public sector.
public sector. Very good. Okay. In a board meeting, what are the principal duties of a chair? In a board meeting, what are the principal duties of the chair?
Yeah.
In a board meeting,
In a board
the
meeting,
principal
the
duties of the
principal
chair
duties of the
are to
chair
manage the
are to
meeting,
manage the meeting,
organize decisions
organize
and
decisions,
votes,
and
make
votes,
sure
make
participants
sure
don't
participants
interrupt one
don't
another
interrupt one
or
another
argue,
or
and
argue,
to ensure that
and
the
to
meeting
ensure that the
focuses
meeting
on the
focuses
agenda
on the
and
agenda
progresses
and
smoothly.
progresses smoothly.
Wait, what other names can we use instead of chair? What other names can we use instead of chair? Other names we
Other
can
names
use
we can
instead of
use
chair
instead of chair,
are chairperson,
chairperson,
chairman, or
chairman,
chairwoman.
or chairwoman.
In your opinion, is it important when chairing a meeting to ensure that everyone participates more or less equally? In your opinion, is it important when chairing a meeting to ensure that everyone participates more or less equally?
More or less
Yes or
equally?
no?
No,
In my opinion,
in my
it isn't
opinion, it
important
isn't
when
important
chairing a meeting
when chairing a
to
meeting
ensure that
to ensure
everyone
that everyone
participates more or less
participates more
equally.
or less equally.
Right? If someone's main priority in life is their career, do you think they're less likely to have a happy private life?
Happy private
If
life.
someone's main priority in life is their career, do you think they're less likely to have a happy private life? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think that
I
if
think that
someone's
if
main
someone's
priority
main
in life
priority in
is
life
their career,
is their
they're
career,
less likely
they're
to
less
have a
likely
happy
to have
private
a
life.
happy private life.
Why? Why do you think so? Because
Because such people don't have much time to enjoy their time with their family and friends.
exactly. Very good. Okay. Why should we always spend a few minutes prioritizing our task before we start
Pass
work
before
each
we
day?
start work
Why
today.
should we always spend a few minutes prioritizing our task before we start work each day? We should always spend
We should
a
always
few
spend
minutes
a few minutes
prioritizing our task
prioritizing our
before
tasks
we start work
before
each
we
day
start work
so
today.
that urgent or important tasks
Today,
so that urgent or
so
important tasks
urgent and important
get done first.
get done first.
Very good. One more. We
Okay.
should always spend a few
We should
minutes
always spend a few
prioritizing.
prioritizing.
Okay, one more. We should
Okay.
always spend
We should
a
always
few
spend
minutes
a few minutes
prioritizing our task
prioritizing our tasks
before we start
before
work
we
each
start
day
work each
so
day,
that urgent
so that
or
urgent
important
or
task
important
gets done
tasks
first.
gets done first.
Very good. Okay, next. Here you go, the long one. Okay. What do the following abbreviation mean and how are they used in business correspondence? What do the following abbreviation mean and how are they used in business correspondence?
Business correspondence.
ATTN means
ATTN
attention.
means attentions.
FAO means
FAO
for the
means
attention
for
of.
the attention of.
They're both used
They're both
to
used
indicate
to
exactly
indicate
who
exactly
correspondence
who
is
correspondence
intended
is
for.
intended to
They're
for.
both
They're
followed
both
by a
followed
colon
by a
and then a
column
name
and then a name
or job title,
or job titles,
normally on the
normally
envelope
on
of a
the
letter
envelope of a
or
letter
in the subject
or
line
in the
of
subject
an
line
email.
of an email.
PTO means
PTO means
please turn over
please turn over
and is used
and is
to
used
make sure
to
that
make
the
sure
reader of a
that the
letter
reader of a
knows
letter
that there's more
knows that
text. There's
um,
more text.
there's
One more.
there okay
So that okay,
so
let's
that
start with PTO means
PTO means
turn over or
turn over.
please turn over
Please turn
and
over
is used
and
to
is
make
used
sure
to make
that the
sure
reader of a
that the
letter
reader of a letter
knows that
knows
there's
that
more text
there's more
on
text
the other side
on
of
the
the
other
piece
side
of
of
paper.
the piece of paper.
PTO goes
PTO
in the
goes
bottom right hand
in the
corner
bottom right hand
of the
corner
page.
of the page.
RE means regarding
R, RE means regarding,
and is followed by a
followed
colon
by a
and a
colon
few words
and a few
that
words
indicate the main
that
subject
indicate the
of a
main
letter
subject of a
or
letter
email.
or email.
RE is usually placed,
RE usually
placed,
uh, placed.
placed like position, placed. One more.
Okay. RE okay.
RE is usually placed
RE is usually
just
placed
below the dear
just
line
below the dear
in a
line
letter or
in a
in the
letter
subject
or
line
in the subject
of an
line
email.
of one email.
Very good. Okay, is it normal for public sector workers in your country to get automatic annual
Get
pay
automatic
rises?
annual pay
Is it
rises.
normal for public sector workers in your country to get automatic annual pay rises? Yes or no?
Yes,
It's normal for
it's
public
normal
sector
for public
workers
sector
in my
workers
country
in my
to get
country
automatic
to get automatic
annual pay rises.
annual pay rises.
Wait, what's another word for pay rise? What's another word for pay rise? Another word for
Another
pay
word
rise
for pay rise
is
is
raise.
raise.
Very good. What's the maximum amount of time you'd be willing to spend commuting each day?
Today.
What's the maximum amount of time you'd be willing to spend commuting each day? The maximum amount
The
of
maximum
time
amount of
I'd be
time
willing
I'll be
to
willing
spend
to
commuting
spend
each day
commuting each day
is
is about 30 minutes.
very good. If you were a famous celebrity, would you employ your own PR or public
Public
relations manager?
relations
If you were
manager.
a famous celebrity,
A
would you
famous
employ your
celebrity,
own
would you
PR
employ your
manager?
own
Yes
PR
or no?
manager? Yes.
If I were a
If
famous
I were a
celebrity,
famous
I'd
celebrity,
employ my
I'd
own
employ
PR
my
manager
own PR
so
manager
that things would be
so that
easy
things
for
would
me.
be easy for me.
Why? Why do you think so? Because
Because if I hire PR manager,
mhm,
they can easily control my schedule, and it's very beneficial for me.
that's correct. They will control your schedule and it's very beneficial for you. Very good. Okay, next. As regards personal banking, do you think the need to deposit and withdraw physical cash will eventually
Cash will
disappear?
eventually
As
disappear
regards personal banking, do you
after
think the need
banking.
to deposit and withdraw physical cash will eventually disappear? Yes or no?
No.
As regards
As
personal
regards
banking,
personal
I don't
banking,
think the
I don't
need to
think the
deposit
need to
and
deposit
withdraw physical
and
cash
withdraw physical
will
cash
eventually disappear.
will eventually disappear.
Why not? Why not? Because
Because some people have a priority to use only cash.
that's correct. And also small stores also.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
good. Okay. Have you ever accidentally left your card in a cash machine after withdrawing money? Have you ever
Withdrawing
accidentally left your card in a cash machine after withdrawing money?
after
Yes or
withdrawing
no?
money? No,
I've never
I will
accidentally
never
left my
accidentally
card
left
in
my
a cash
cards
machine
in a cash
after
machine
withdrawing money.
after withdrawing money.
Very good. Why might a business ask a customer to put down a deposit on goods they've ordered? Why might a business ask a customer to put down a deposit on goods they've ordered? A business
A
might
business
ask a
might
customer
ask a
to
customer
put down a
to
deposit
put down a
on
deposit
goods they're
on
ordered
goods they ordered
to ensure that the
to
business
ensure that
doesn't
the business
incur
doesn't incur
unnecessary costs if
unnecessary
the
cost
customer
if
changes
the
their
customer
mind.
changes their mind.
Very good. Name a company whose new product always sell like hotcakes. Name a company whose new products always sell like hotcakes.
Apple
Is a
is
company
a
whose
company
new products
whose new product
always sell like hotcakes.
always sell like a hot cake.
Very good. Okay, next. What's the difference between consumer spending and public spending? What's the difference between consumer spending
Consumer
and public
spending and
spending?
public spending.
The difference
The
between
difference
consumer
between
spending
consumer
and public
spendings and
spending
public
is that
spendings
consumer
is that the
spending
consumer
is the
spending
money
is
that
the
the
money
general
that
public
the general
spends,
public
for
spends,
example, on food,
for example, on
clothing,
food,
going out,
clothing,
etc.
going out, etc.
Whereas public spending
Whereas the public
is the
spending
money that the
is the money
government
that the
spends,
government
for
spends,
example, on
for
education,
example, on education,
healthcare, and
healthcare,
maintaining law
and
and
maintaining
order.
law and
Order.
order.
Very good. Law and order. Very good. Okay, next. How is most public spending paid for? How is most public spending paid for? Most public spending
Most public
is paid
spending
for by
is paid
taxation.
for by taxation.
Very good. Okay, next. Why do some parents get upset when television commercials deliberately target young children?
Target young
Why do
children.
some parents get upset when television commercials deliberately target young children? Some parents
Some
get
parents
upset
get
when
upset
television
when
commercials
television commercials
deliberately target young
deliberately
children
target younger
because
children
they promote
because they
unhealthy
promote
products.
a healthy product.
Give me an example of the word target used as a noun. Give me an example of the word target used as a
Target
noun, please.
is that now?
In June last year,
In June
we
last year,
achieved
we
sales
achieved
of we achieved sales.
we achieved
One
sales.
more. In June last
In
year,
June last
we
year,
achieved
we
sales
achieved
of
sales of
152,000 pounds,
150,000 pounds,
which was 12,000
which was
pounds above
12,000
our
pounds
targets.
above our targets.
Very good. Why do you suppose so many cities submit bids to hold the Olympic despite the fact that it's difficult and expensive project to manage? Why do you suppose so many cities submit bids to hold the Olympics despite the fact that it's difficult and expensive project to manage? I suppose
I
so
suppose
many
so
cities
many states
submit bids to
submit
hold
bid
the Olympics
to hold the Olympics
despite the fact
despite
that
the
it's a
fact
difficult
that it's
and
a difficult
expensive project
and
to
expensive
manage
project to manage
because
because because in their future they can continuously earn a lot of money by the facility built for the Olympics.
very it's like the Olympic Stadium, right? And it's a
Okay.
good promotion of the city, very for
Okay.
tourism.
Promotion of the stadium. Yeah.
Very good. Okay, has your city ever bid for a famous international sporting event? Has your city ever bid for a famous international sporting event? Yes or no?
Yes.
My city has bid
My city
for a
has bid
famous
for a
international
famous
sporting event. Sporting.
sporting event. Okay.
Very good. If you were presented with the opportunity to go and work in either London, New York, or Tokyo, which of those cities would you select? If you were presented with the opportunity to go and work in either London, New York, or Tokyo, which of those cities would you select? If I were presented
If I were
with the
presented
opportunity
with the
to go
opportunity
and work
to
in
go
either
and work
London,
in
New
either
York, or
London,
Tokyo,
New York, or
I'd
Tokyo,
select.
I select New York
Why? Why? Because
because New York is a very exciting city, so I might earn a lot of money
that,
from some business.
that's correct. And it's like there's so many millionaires there.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, when a company is recruiting new staff, is an interview the only way for it to assess an
Oh,
applicant? When a company is recruiting new staff, is
recruiting
an
new staff.
interview the only way for it to assess an applicant? No. When a
No.
company is
When a
recruiting
company
new
is
staff,
recruiting new
an
staff,
interview
an
isn't the only
interview
way
isn't
for
the
it
only
to
way for
assess
it
an applicant.
to assess an applicant.
What else can a company do during its recruitment selection process? What else can a company do during its recruitment selection process? A company can
A
also
company
give
can
applicants
also give
tests,
applicants tests,
organize group activities,
organize group activities,
etc. during
etc.
its recruitment
during its
selection process.
recruitment selection process.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of our revision. Let's have new work.
Okay. Yes.
Very good. Okay, so let's have the first abbreviation PA or personal assistant,
PA or personal assistant,
secretary,
secretary,
supervise.
supervise.
Very good. Okay, listen. PA or personal assistant is a noun.
Assistant is a
It is
noun.
someone whose job is to help or
Job is to
manage
help or
by writing
manage
business
by
letters,
writing business
organizing
letters,
meetings,
organizing
etc.
meetings, etc.
Secretary is a noun. It is
No.
someone in an office who works for someone else and who does jobs such as arranging
Such
meetings,
as arranging
making phone
meetings,
calls, and
making phone
preparing
calls, and
letters.
preparing letters.
Supervise is a verb. It
Supervise is a
means to
verb.
watch and
To
direct
watch,
someone or something.
direct someone or something.
For example, some PAs get paid a lot more than
Get
normal
paid a lot more than
secretaries
normal
because they're
secretary.
given
Given
responsibility for tasks that
responsibility
normal
for task
secretaries
normal
don't perform,
secretary,
such as writing reports,
such as
making
writing report,
financial
making
decisions,
financial decisions,
supervising other staff,
supervising
etc.
other staff, etc.
Very good. So let's practice. Why do some PAs get paid a lot more than normal secretaries? Why do some PAs get paid a lot more than normal secretaries?
It means
Some PAs get
some
paid
PS
a lot
get
more
paid a lot
than normal
more than
secretaries
normal
because they're
secretary
given
because they are given
responsibility for
responsibility
tasks
for
that
tasks
normal
that
secretaries
normal
don't perform,
secretary don't
such
perform,
as writing
such
reports,
as writing
making
reports,
financial
making
decisions,
financial decisions,
supervising other staff,
supervising other
etc.
staff, etc.
Very good. Okay, next, let's have numbers.
Numbers.
Very good. Okay, so in business, let's learn about numbers. Okay, repeat. Minus,
Minus,
subtract,
subtract,
decimal number,
decimal number,
fraction,
fraction,
digit,
digit,
percent,
percent,
savings, in,
savings,
interest rate.
interest rate.
Very good. Okay, listen. Minus. For example, 2000
Minus
minus
2000
600
minus
equals
600 equals
1400.
1400.
Subtract, for example, if we subtract 60 from 40, we
60
get
from 4
minus 20 or negative
minus
20.
20, negative 20.
Decimal number, for example, 8.5 as a
8
decimal
and a
number
half.
is
Decimal number
8.5.
8.5.
Fraction, for example, 1.75 the fraction is
1.75.
1
Fraction.
and 3
1
quarters.
and 3 quarters.
Digit, for example, there are 4 digits in this figure. 600, 6,440, 4
Chicken
digit.
quarter.
And there are 5 digits in this
5 digit in
figure.
this figure.
21,672.
2
Okay, percent, it means
percent.
one
It
part
means
of
1
100.
part of 100.
For example, the best interest rate one could
Best rate
expect to get
1
from a savings account is
from
1%.
1%.
Savings is a noun. It is the money
So
that you have saved in
money
a
that you
bank or
have saved in a
invested
bank or
so that you
invested
can use it later.
in
Interest
later.
rate is a noun. It is the percentage that an institution such as a bank charges or
Bank
pays you
that pays you
in interest when you borrow money from it or keep
from it,
money in an account.
keep money in
For
account.
example, if I borrowed £5,000 from a bank now,
From
I'd
bank
expect
now,
to be charged an
it's
interest rate of
had
10%.
interest rate of 10%.
So let's practice. How much is 2,000 minus 600? How much is 2,000 minus 600? 2,000 minus
2000
600
minus
is
600 is
1,400.
1400.
Very good. What do we get if we subtract 60 from 40? What do we get if we subtract 60 from 40?
60 from
If
40.
we subtract
If
60
we
from
subtract
40,
60 from
we get
40,
minus
we
20.
get minus 20.
Right? And if we add 25 to 1,000, what do we get? And if we add 25 to 1,000, what do we get? If we add
If we
25
add
to 1,000,
25 to
we get
1000, we get
1,025.
1025.
We can say 8.5 in a decimal number. Say 8.5 in a decimal number, please. 8.5.
8.5 5
What is 1.75 expressed as a fraction? What is
fraction.
1.75 expressed as a fraction? 1.75
1.75
expressed as a fraction
expressed as
is
a
one
fraction
and three
is 1
quarters.
and 3 quarters.
Right? In the number 9,300, which
9,300.
punctuation mark do we use to separate the digit 9 from the digit 3?
9
In the
3.
number 9,300, which punctuation mark do we use to separate the digit 9 from the digit 3? In the number
In the numbers
9,300, we
9,300,
use a comma
we use the
to
comma
separate the
to
digit 9
separate the digit
from
9
the digit 3.
from the digit 3.
Where what's the best interest rate one could expect to get from a savings account at the moment? What's the best interest rate one could expect to get from a savings account at the moment? The best interest
The
rate
best interest
one could
rate
expect
one could
to get
expect
from a
to
savings
get
account
from a savings
at the
account
moment is
at the
about
moment is about 5%.
per annum, right? Okay, very good. And if you borrowed 5,000 pounds from a bank now,
From back
what
now,
interest rate would you expect to be charged? And if you
charged.
borrowed 5,000 pounds from a bank now, what interest rate would you expect to be charged? If I borrowed
If I borrow
5,000 pounds from a
5,000
bank
pounds
now,
from a bank
I'd
now,
expect to be
I'd
charged
expect to be
an
charged
interest rate
an interest rate
of 10%.
of 10%.
Very good. Okay, next repeat stock market,
Stock market,
stock exchange,
stock
stock exchange,
stock exchange,
stock,
stock
capital,
capital,
float,
float,
issue.
issue.
Very good. Okay, listen, stock is a noun. It means one of the equal
One
parts
of the
into
equal
which the
parts
value of the
to which
company
the
is
value of
divided.
the company is divided.
Capital is a noun. It is the money or property that you use to
Property
start a
used
business or
to
invest
start a
to earn
business
more
or
money.
invest to earn more money.
Float is a verb. If one company floats their stock in the stock market, it means that they use shares and obtain money
Share
from selling
and
them.
obtain money from selling it.
Issue is a verb. It means to make something available to be sold or
Available
used.
to be sold
We usually use the term stock market to mean the general
to
market
mean
for
the
selling
general
and buying
market for
stocks.
selling and buying
That
stocks.
is, the
That
shares that companies
shares
issue in
the
order to
company
raise
issue in
capital.
order to raise capital.
A stock exchange, on the other hand, is a particular organization such
Particular
as New York Stock
organization such as New
Exchange.
York Stock Exchange.
Some stock exchanges specialize in certain types of companies.
Company
However, that people often use the term stock market when they're talking about particular
talking
stock
about a
exchange.
particular stock exchange.
When a company wants to grow, one
Wants to
way
grow,
of finding the
one way
capital
of
to do
finding the
this is
capital
to
to do
float the
this
business on the stock
for the
market.
business on the stock
The
market.
company issues shares and obtains money from selling them. Let's practice. Which is the largest stock exchange in the world? Which is the largest stock exchange in the world? The New York Stock
The New York
Exchange is
Stock
the
Exchange
largest stock
is the
exchange
largest stock
in the
exchange
world.
in the world.
How does floating on the stock market provide a company with capital to grow? How does
To grow.
floating on the stock market provide a company with a capital to grow? Floating on the stock market
Floating on the stock market
provides a company,
from from
provide,
provides a
one more.
company.
Floating on the stock market
Floating on the stock market
provides a company
provides a
with
company
capital to
with a
grow because with capital to
capital
grow,
capital growth,
capital to grow.
capital to
Yeah, like to grow,
to
like to develop, to grow. That to grow
capital to grow. Okay,
because the company
is a
obtains
company
money
obtains
from
money
selling the
from
shares
selling
it
the
issues.
shares it issues.
Very good. One more. Floating
Okay,
on the stock
floating
market
on the stock market
provides a company
provides a
with
company
capital to
with a
grow
capital to grow
because the company
because the
obtains
company
money
obtains
from
money
selling the
from
shares
selling the
it
shares
issues.
it issues.
Very good. Next, shelf life.
Self self
Shelf shelf
ah,
life.
shelf life,
Very good. So like the display shelf life.
shelf
Okay,
life.
listen. Shelf life is a noun. It is the length of time that food may be stored
Food
and
may
still
be
be good
stored,
to eat.
still be good to
For
eat. Okay.
example, of these two food products, a packet of biscuit
A
and a tin
packet
of
of
baked
biscuit
beans,
and pink
a
beans.
packet of biscuit has the longest shelf life. Okay, so
Longest
we
shelf
stop there
life.
for
Okay.
today and
Thank
continue
you so
again
much. See
tomorrow.
you again
Okay,
tomorrow. Yes,
bye
bye
bye.
bye. Thank you.
Shelf life. La, la.